catch me on the run, cause I'm gone, yeah. I blaze trails, set fire to what's behind me. No, I'm never looking back, I'm on the run. I could only ever be what I'm made to be. It feels good when I'm living on the edge. Watch me now, roll like thunder, gonna sacred ground. Can't stop me now, I don't give up and I won't back down. I'm a force of nature, can't be contained. I got lightning running all through my veins. Watch me now, watch me now.
Hi, I'm Wyatt Milam. I'm from Canova, West Virginia. When I'm back home, you'll find me at my local Par-Mar store.
We have that gold and blue pride at your local Par-Mar store. We are coming to your neighborhood soon. West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Maryland, we have you covered. Download the Par-Mar app and sign up for the Par-Mar rewards card. Food, gas, groceries, and more. We are gold and blue proud, and we are Par-Mar stores.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Law offices of Mark Plants and Kevin Davis. First line of defense. Buzzballs, ready-to-drink cocktails. Number one single-serve premix brand in the U.S. Buzzballs, have a ball. And yes, start out your day having a ball. Buzzballs, baby. That's right. Hey, welcome to the WolfMan's call. I'm Dale Wolfley. What a day I have. Can you think back 30 years? Just think, 30 years to the second, one of only two undefeated Mountaineer teams, the 1993 team. That is correct. 11-0. Undefeated. The challenges that players and coaches have to go through just each and every week. That's why it's so rare. This is the 131st year of Mountaineer football, and there have only been two teams that have gone undefeated. Well, we got something really, really special for you today, and we're going to have a little bit later on, we're going to break down some Nicco Marchiol film, talking about this weekend, getting ready for Texas Tech Raiders. I'm also going to have special guest Don Williams on, been covering the Texas Tech Red Raiders for the Avalanche-Journal, the Lubbock Avalanche-Journal, for 36 years. You think he knows Joey McGuire, the head coach? You think he knows Texas Tech Red Raiders? Stay tuned. But before all of that, I got some four dudes that are Mountaineer legends. They run the Mountaineer mentality. They are what I think of when I think of being Mountaineers. These four certainly pop in. Obviously, there's so many more, but these four are right up there at the top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right at it. And I'm gonna bring something back. And I want to know if you remember this. You have to remember this. James Puppy Wright. What's up, Pup? How you doing, man?
Yo, what's up?
Oh,
I'm good, big deal.
Good to see your face, man. Oh, good. Hey, you're out there in Vegas now, right?
That is correct. I'm out here in Las Vegas, the Sin City.
Oh, beautiful. All right. Well, we're going to hang on there. We're going to continue on down the line here. Oh, I got a big man right now, and that is Barry Big Hawk Hawkins. What's up, Barry?
What's going on, yo? Mountaineer Nation, baby. Let's get it in.
That's right. Big 99, man, holding down the middle. Oh, you got Puppy Wright, linebacker. You got Big Hawkins. Let's keep it going. Well, where's Timmy Brown? Timmy Brown, Mr. Team Captain, you there?
I'm here, Wolf. Can you see me?
I can't see you, but I can hear you, bud. I can hear you good.
I'm good.
Okay, you're good. You're good. Well, gentlemen, hey, Logan's supposed to join us here shortly. Hopefully he will, and I'm talking Mike Logan. But let's get this thing going on. All right, so 30 years ago, 1993. Let's just start off with you, Big Hawk. because you're the nose guard and you're the anchor there, the research on defense in the trenches. What are you thinking now, 30 years later, looking back, as you guys went 11-0 in the regular season?
Man, when you start breaking it down like that, talking about all the years of tradition and stuff in Mountaineer football, and only having two teams that were undefeated, man, that puts everything in perspective. It puts a lot in perspective, and it's an honor and it's a pleasure to be part of that group. On a great team that we had at that point in time, and also with the '89 group too, that went undefeated too. So it was pleasure, man, and I know we're getting older, but I always say we're getting better in that aspect. But it's a great and it's a privilege, man, to be part of and be mentioned with that team and our teammates.
Absolutely. What about you, Pup? Puppy, can you hear me, buddy?
Oh man, I'm
Puppy, can you hear me?
Big Hawk. He was the, you know what I'm saying, at the nose, and I keep.
We're having issues with Puppy there. So, Timmy Brown, let me just go ahead and throw that right on down to you, man. Well, what say you now that it's 30 years later, looking at it, 11-0, all the things. I did play all your films. Everybody, Big Hawk doing the fumble against Miami. I got your hit, the receiver going across the middle. What say you 30 years later?
Wolf, man, it's just like, man, for real, for me, man, it's like it happened yesterday, man. We still, our 93 team was special, man. We stay in contact with each other. We communicate, you know what I mean? So it feels like it was yesterday, man. We're getting a little older, but, you can't take that 11-0 season away from us, man. So, and we got a good crew of guys, man, who stuck together from the start all the way to the finish, and we're still together as family, man.
Yeah, what does that say? What does that say to you, Hawk, that 30 years later, you guys are still in communication a lot? I'm not going to say every day or whatever, but you guys are staying in communication. That's teammates for life.
Exactly, man, and you put it perfectly, man. It's just the fact that it just shows you that the family atmosphere that we had, the continuity we had together, and just the love for the game and wanting to be the best at what we do. So it just shows you that just lifelong friends, man. It's blue and gold forever, and everybody that you meet just end up being people that you continually talk to, man, and always want to communicate and see how they're doing in life.
No doubt. I think we lost Timmy too, so we lost Puppy and Timmy. I'm not sure what's going on here. So Hawk, I'm going to keep focusing on you, man. And let me draw this up here. This is kind of cool here. Let me get this video up here. We come in here and see right here, 93 team. Let me go ahead and play this for you. This is you right off the bat, man. Remember this right here, Miami? Obviously you do, but this play here coming off, a little double team. Getting the fumble there, Wes Richardson right there recovering. That was a big deal, man.
Man, you play that film, and I look at that film probably once a year, if not more than that, man. And it's also, it brings back chills and everything else, and the whole atmosphere, man, that we had down in that time, being undefeated and coming into that Miami game, man, and just the adrenaline itself, man, and looking up and being able to see my family and everybody else in the end zone, man, and it was just a situation where you live for it, and it's just something every time I remind myself how special it was.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I think we got Puppies coming back in here. And Puppies, I'm looking at this game film about Miami. What was so important to you about Miami, because you're from there? How important was it, man? He's having problems. He's in the Sin City. That's why. What about you, Timmy?
That's exactly.
What about you, Timmy, going on here, man? Thinking about the big hits you had, Miami. How big was that Miami game, and what did it mean to the team that year?
I think that game right there is probably one of the best games of the year, Wolf. It was cold as ever. I remember like it was yesterday, man. It was cold as ever. We went out there and balled out, man, and we had to have that win. We knew we win that game right there, and of course going to Boston College was kind of rough, that's our last game, but that was a big win home in front of a sellout crowd, so we had a great win, and we gave Mountaineer what they came to see.
Hey, Poppy, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Can you hear me? I do apologize, guys.
Oh, that's all right, man. We're going ahead. We were just saying this because you're in Sin City. That's why you're having issues there. All right. So number one is Miami game. I just showed the film. I'll run it again for you so you can see it. You're in Miami. You were from Miami. Coming from, what did you think about all this, and how important was this game to you personally?
I mean, it was so very important. It was like Christmas, you know. I mean, to go back home for bragging right, you know what I'm saying? Because they never have respect for us in the first place. And then after beating them, they definitely have respect for us that year in 1993.
Yep, that's for sure, man. And they never did have respect. But I think the Mountaineers that year, you know, and let's be honest here, 1996, when they go ahead and the punt was blocked, the Mountaineers had them again as well. Would you not agree to that, Timmy Brown? You there, buddy? Did I lose you?
Go ahead. Say.
Yeah, I said, well, then in 1996, the Mountaineers almost had him again until they blocked that punt in the last second, right?
Yeah. I mean, of course, I want us to go, you know, be undefeated, man. But I will still hold my breath for us to be the last undefeated team down there, man. But you always, for sure, counting on the Mountaineers to win again.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. Let me ask you, Hawk. All right, you were the anchor of the nose guard team, and what did you think going into this season? 11, or you're 0-0 going into the season. Did you think that you guys? Okay. Hey, did you think you guys are going to be special that year? I can't hear you. Go ahead, Pup. You can take over that question. Do you think you're going to be special?
I'm sorry. Can you say it again, Wolf? I lost you there for a minute, buddy.
I mean, that's in camp.
Go ahead, Hawk. Are you on there? I can't tell if you're on or not, buddy.
Can you hear me, Wolf?
I can hear you. Go ahead. Puppy,
Hey,
go ahead.
what about can you hear me, Wolf?
Yeah, I can hear you. Let's go.
I mean, you know, that's when we was in camp. You know what I'm saying? You just see when we was in camp, you just saw the talent what we have. You know what I'm saying? And all the athletes we have. You know, we had a rotation in camp. You know what I'm saying? But I never seen before. You know what I'm saying? So I just knew that year we was going in special. You know what I'm saying? We had Jake coming in as a starting quarterback. You know what I'm saying? It was just boiling to be special. You know, we had Tim Brown. You know what I'm saying? He was up for the Buckets Award. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was just there. You know, we had so many athletes, first, second team, even the scout team was a dog fight. And I know Tim and Barry, they could back me up on that. The scout team gave us a fight every week.
Barry, is that why you guys were so good? Was it the scout team coming up was there to make sure you guys worked week in and week out?
Definitely. It definitely played a major role in it, man. Them guys gave us a great look and what things we were going to see, you know, actually running exactly the offense we're going to be seeing that year. And those guys, man, and just hitting on a little bit, Wolf, too, about that season. I know I missed that question, but like Pup said, it was a special time, man. And we grew up together. We just, you know, as a team, we grew up from that scout team, and we came in and we started playing well and everything else. But you could feel the excitement, like Pup was saying, and going into camp, man, and we knew we had something special.
You know, I was a graduate assistant coach that year, and I, of course, played in 1988 with the team went 11-0, and then watching you guys, I had a really special feeling about what was happening, especially when I thought about it. And Timmy Brown, how about this? How about Darren Studstill and Jay Couchner being a factor, 1-2 factor, that usually if you got two quarterbacks, you got none, but not in the case of 1993.
Right. I mean, everything's like the puzzle came together, Wolf. With, like I said, where our offense was clicking, man. Where, like I said, we never skipped a beat with either Darren or Jake in the game, man. So we knew we always had a chance with either one of them guys in the game. Everything was just perfect, came together, man. Like I said, and I told you from I think last week that back in camp, when we first started camp, and we all believed that we can be an undefeated team. We went into this camp and we all had faith in each other. And went fought together, and we knew we had a chance to be an undefeated team.
Yep. Let me ask you, Hawk. Let me ask you this, man. I'm going to ask each one of you this question, so try to remember if you can. But What was the moment when you thought that this team could be special? Do you remember that? When the light bulb went off, was there any time you're like, wow, we're really going to be good?
Well, that's a hard question because I think back at some of the games that we played during that season, man, and a lot of the games were special, and we played a lot of close games, where things could have went different ways, but we just persevered through it and were able to get through it. But I don't know if I could say there was a certain game that comes to thought right now. What made me think that year was going to be special? But like I had said before, I just thought it was going to be special because when you look around and you see the same guys you came in with that are still there at the same time when you are there as a senior or as a junior, you feel that camaraderie and you feel that bond. So it's hard for me to point out an exact game, but I remember the one photo that we took on the field, and it was in the front of the paper, and I can't remember what game it was after, that we took a big group picture, and it was everybody there. It was right after a day of practice and everything else, and it made the front of the newspaper at that time, but it was a special time when we knew we could have something special.
Yeah, that's for sure. How about you, Poppy? I mean, what did you think that you were going to felt that this team could be something special, more than the average season? What about you, Timmy? Go ahead, take it over.
I knew we was gonna be special, Wolf. Like I said, we had when I go back to camp, and we had like receivers, Michael Baker, Ed Hill, them guys working out with the linebackers. You know what I mean? Them guys that wanted to get better. They competed. You know what I mean? Every single thing we did, we all competed as a group. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like I said, like Hawkeye said, like the scout team, they made us better, man. It was just like everything we did, I knew we were gonna be special because of the hard work we put in with each other.
Can you hear me, Puppy?
Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. Yeah. What was it when you knew the team was gonna be special?
I'm gonna be honest with you, guys. I don't know if when we played against, I guess, was it East Carolina, our second or third game, when they head coach said he never seen a team with this much talent. They're gonna be special. Nobody gonna beat them that year. That's when I knew we had a special team, a very special, camaraderie on our team. Because when another coach from another school said he never seen this much talent, that's big. I don't know if you guys remember that. I think we played East Carolina. Barry, did we play East Carolina in that year? You know what I'm saying? The second game. And
I think we did.
We did.
Yeah. And they head coach said it in the paper, said he never saw so much talent flying around that he don't see nobody beating them this year. West Virginia.
I remember that. They used to call him the Riverboat Gambler. I'm trying to think of his name, but he was the gambler there that you guys did. All right, so let's go ahead and let's take a look. Last thing that I'm going to say about the 30-year reunion for you guys. Timmy Brown, what does it mean to you now that 30 years later that, you were part of only one of two teams in the 131-year history of West Virginia University that went through a whole season undefeated?
Yeah, it's just, I still talk about it to everybody, man. And like when I was down this past weekend, we went to a little tailgate tent, and one of the old timers asked, what team did you play for? And I quizzed him. I was like, if you tell me the last undefeated team that came out of West Virginia, you tell me who I played for. You know what I mean? So it's just special, man. And everybody remember that year, man. You know what I mean? So it feels good just to go down there and know that people still know that we came through there and did what we did as a team.
Yeah. What about you, Puppy? When you think of your tradition, when you think of, I was part of something that was 131 years, man. It was just 2 years that were really special. That's got to mean a lot. It does to me. So that's why I'm asking you that.
I mean, it's beyond a lot because just to be a part of that team and to be a part of them guys, and you still could go back and look at highlights and of that season. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it just blow your mind, and then you just tell other people, the kids, you know what I'm saying, who playing ball today, how it feel to be a part, like anybody going undefeated, like the Alabamas and everything, you know what I'm saying, like Georgia, going undefeated. We did history like that. West Virginia. There's guys on the phone right now talking to you. We did it. You know what I'm saying? They can't take that away.
That's for sure. All right, so Barry, man, is 30 years later. What does it mean to you? You just heard your two brothers there, and now you were the anchor. You were a Hawk, man. You were a big Hawk, and you're the point guard of that defense, man. So many times people were relied on you, man, to make sure you held together the middle of the defense.
Yeah, man, and like I said before, it's beyond words and expectations and everything else. It's a privilege to be a part of the team, and be able to be recognized in a Mountaineer history about a team that went undefeated. And like you said, Wilf, you'll be a part of that too. But it was just a privilege to be a part of that, and have a long life friend that I could always look back on and share the experience with. It was really a privilege, and I appreciate being able to have that honor.
Yep. Very cool. All right. So, Timmy, you were in town last week. You see this Mountaineer team. They're 2-1 right now. Obviously, Penn State was a loss, a tough loss. A lot of people are saying, hey, that was a good loss. I don't think any loss is good. But, all right, I understand what they're saying. Duquesne took care of business. Pitt did well, but, boy, they didn't look pretty, Timmy. What do you think, about this team? Are they legit? Are they real? Is Pitt that bad? Where are they? Somewhere in between?
I think we got a good team, Wolf. Just watch, like I said last week, just watch them guys play the first half against Penn State. And Penn State's a powerhouse team. And it was a halftime score of 14-7. I think if we continue to eliminate the turnovers and keep getting after the ball, I think we'll be a special team as well. You know what I mean? I don't really see if our quarterback, actually the backup quarterback look good. So, if the first team quarterback come in there and he stay healthy, we got a chance.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Puppy? What do you see when you watch this team and watch them beat the Panthers?
I mean, of course, I was excited when we beat Pitt. That's the backyard brawl, so you're always going to be excited. But, I still think we still got a lot of stuff to fill. You know what I'm saying? I don't even feel that we have the energy how we used to have even for starting with the sidelines. You know what I mean? I don't see no former players back on the field. You know what I'm saying? But I see, gymnastic people on the field, but I don't see none of our old players could talk to the players, to the younger guys. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing we need to fix first. I'm keeping it real. Wolf, if you want to keep talking, I can keep talking. We need to fix a couple of things. We need, you know what I'm saying? We need to get better talent. Be real. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you. We're in the Big 12. You know what I mean? And, to get to that next level, we got to do better recruiting.
Let me ask you a question then, Hawk, and I'll get right back to you here, Pop, but let me ask you a question on that. What about Pitt and this team? Where do you think they're at? Before I get into breaking this down with you guys, where do you think they're at? Hawk?
Who's that for, Wolf?
That's for you.
Is that for me?
Yeah.
I don't think they're not a team of Pitt before. Like when I look back at some of the greater teams that they had, I think they lack a lot of stuff when it comes down to quarterback position and some of the upfront guys. But, obviously, they're still going to be a powerhouse in that aspect, but I don't think they're the Pitt of old in that aspect. But, and I think we did a good job of being more consistent this game. And, the biggest thing is I just would like to see our guys compete and be put in situations that are going to make us successful, and being in the right coverages and making sure that we can stop the run and make them one-dimensional is what my biggest concern was.
Yeah. Let me ask you, Hawk, were you licking your lips, man, when thinking about looking at those center and the offensive line? Because you said it. They were not the Pitt offensive lines of old, man. Were you kind of like, man, I wish I could be playing right now?
Yeah, that's always. We look like that all the time, man, and it makes you reflect back on what you would have done if you would have been in your prime playing against those guys, man. And obviously you're going to look at it in different aspects. But, yeah, and I'm looking at it till the type of schemes and stuff that they're playing. I don't know how conducive it is to where we're used to playing with the four-man front and everything else, and stopping the run. But, it makes you think about, if we're putting the right guys in the right places to do what they need to get done. We got the win, which is a great thing, but it's got to be something that's got to be more consistent week to weekend to making sure that, we're putting our guys in the best place possible.
All right, hey, so Puppy, talking about it, you're saying you got to do better recruiting. I'm assuming you're really kind of talking about the transfer portal right now, making an assumption, coming in, having an immediate impact. Am I right?
Well, I mean, not so much as transfer portal. I mean, that's recruiting from high school as well too. But the transfer portal do help to come in right into play. You know what I'm saying? But we just got to do a whole lot better. You know what I'm saying? We got to get the charisma back. It's just not, to me. It's just not. It's just not there to me. Just looking back over the years, I'm just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? I am a Mountaineer for life, but I just don't see the same energy. You know what I'm saying, on the sideline, even with the coaching staff. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. You know what I mean? I think we need to do a whole lot better. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you look at it. I mean, certain talent. I look at some of the D linemen. You know what I'm saying? I don't see we don't have a dominant D line like the Hawks and everybody back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I don't really see any true linebackers. You know what I'm saying? Like the Timmy Brown and Wes Richardson will come and thump you. The DBs like the Aaron Beasley. I just don't see the excitement, the energy. How when people know they go to Morgantown, they scared, fear. Now teams come to Morgantown, you know what I'm saying? It's no fear. It's, to me, that's how I feel,
Well, I will say this. Hey, tell me when the Big 12 and they said that West Virginia was going to be 14th in the Big 12. I mean, last place. What is going on in perception when a team like Houston is just entering the Power 5 with a team, UCF, you can see that they're Florida-based, so they got a lot of big talent down there. But even like Cincinnati or BYU, and you got West Virginia as 14th. How bad is our perception, man?
Well, I mean, if you look at the other schools that's in the Big 12, Wolf, I mean, and like Puppy said, man, it's like nobody wants to come to West Virginia, man. Like the big recruits, the Power 5, I mean, the 5-star recruits is not coming to West Virginia. They'll choose the Oklahomas or the Texas and Texas Tech over to come to West Virginia. You know what I mean? So I feel that they just got to like Doc Holliday. Doc Holliday went to Florida. He sold them boys like, look, I need you in West Virginia. We can do A, B, and C, and D. And he had the Florida connection. So I don't know if our recruits, our colleges, coaches that we got.
But Tim, we just don't have. Sorry to cut you off. We just don't have no charisma. We don't have no charisma how we used to have back in the day. It's real.
Are you saying
we don't have that charisma on the sideline? We don't have the swag. We just don't have it. We don't have the swag. We don't.
Well, I agree with you, Pop. I totally agree with you. Like I said, I mean, the energy is not the same. Like, I say it to everybody. I mean, when we play, it's a whole different ball game. But you know what? The game's changed though, for real. If you look at it, not just, not just this year, just the game has changed all the way around, for real. Everybody want to pass the ball. There's no more guys pounding the ball and running the ball at you. Everybody want to spread everybody out. So the game's changed. So, but like I said, and we don't have the athletes for real, to compete with the guys who from Texas, from Florida, who play the game all year round.
Well, let me ask you this, Hawk. When we lost 17 transfers this year, we got 14 back. 4 of them were Power 5. 10 of them were FCS or G5. You can't win that way, can you?
No, man, and I'm glad you brought that up, Wolf. And I the biggest thing with me is that transfer portal, man. And to me, I think it's more of a negative when it comes to the transfer portal. I mean, it's a good fix right away that you can get your team right away, and the coach who wants to make some moves and get up there because you're bringing in a lot of guys from other programs. But it's not things where guys aren't vested anymore, man, because them guys are coming in for 1 year, 2 year fixes, and they're trying to get what they need to get in and get out. So you don't form that camaraderie that you like when you start recruiting kids out of high school. You bring them up through the ranks, you get them bigger, you get them stronger, you get them faster. You bring them up through the scout team, everything, and they form that continuity that you're missing nowadays with that transfer portal because you're bringing in that quick fix. So you're losing out on those high school kids, the kids that are really going to really build your program. If you're looking for those kids that are going to be a quick turnaround and a quick fix, that's when a lot of times you go to that transfer portal. And that's just, to me, it's a hindrance to a lot of programs. But, I mean, obviously, it's what it is nowadays. But back in the day, like when you said that what helps what helped us out when we were playing is that we had that continuity because we all were coming from high school. We were all coming from a JUCO or something different like that, but we were able to spend 2 or 3, 4 years together. Now these guys are coming in 1 year at a time, and then they're up out of there. So there's not that vested interest in being that you're always doing your single thing and want to do what you want to do, but I don't think that's how you build a program.
You know, Tim, Deion Sanders, all right? Deion Sanders just had an interview, and I was absolutely fascinated by it. And I was just looking a couple of weeks ago, and he had the lowest 2024 recruiting class in the Big 12, meaning numbers-wise. But he came out, and I kind of figured he was going in this direction, but he came out and said, you know what? We're going to take 4 or 5 high school players. Why should we invest in all these high school kids when there's players out there already that have been through it and will not – you bring them in 4 or 5, they can leave you. They can go ahead and leave the transfer portal. I'm not going to bring in 25 freshmen. I'm going to bring in 5, and I'm going to get transfer portal guys. And right now, he's proven that system works, and I don't blame him because if he doesn't win right away, people want to fire him. People want to fire you. You don't have time. Well, what say you, Timmy?
I mean, that's true, Wolf. I mean, if you look at the game now, like I said, that transfer portal is mean. Everybody is going where the best team is, their best place to go to win, and that's what it's about now. It's about winning. If you go to a college, you want to go and win. And for real, that transfer portal is like it's like a junior college. Like I played, and college players they don't sit out for a couple of years. They're going to go play right away. So it's the same thing. I think the junior college and transfer portal, high school kids don't have a chance. I mean, there's no really no college is going to take a chance with a high school kid where they can go get a kid who's been playing football for 2 years already in the college level. So
unless you're a 5-star guy or something.
Unless you're exactly.
Well, Hawkins, think about this. So this is what Deion said is that, you know, the NCAA is really to blame for this, and the NCAA is going to come out and say, listen, we're going to have to make an allotment of scholarships available just for freshmen so that we don't lose on all these young guys. Because right now, when you go to the transfer portal, there's like 3,000 young athletes in there. All right, a lot more than spots for it. And somehow this has got to be fixed. So what do you think about that? The NCAA, do they allow for more, you know, instead of 85 scholarships, now you're going to have to go to 95 or 100?
Yeah, because, I mean, you got to look at the longevity of it. Like you said, man, you got to look at the longevity of everything, and you got to, and the way you build, like I said before, you got to bring high school kids in because you got to be able to nurture those kids and bring them through your programs. Nowadays, like how Timmy had said, it's win now or get out of there. And that's what people know right now. If you don't win right now, you're leaving. They'll give you 1-2 years. They're paying you $8-9 million. They want to see a turnaround right now. So when you look at what Deion has said, I mean, it's true. He's got to win right now. He got the spotlight on him, and the way he does it is by coming and making an overhaul of his whole team. He made an overhaul, bringing the guys that he knows, and that's just the nature of the beast of how it is right now. You know, back in the day, you had a little bit more time to groom people and bring them up to the way you want to and get the kind of player that you want. Nowadays, you don't have that luxury because coaches know they're on the hot seat when you're making that kind of money that you got to turn the program around right now. So, you know, in order for you to do that, you can't bring in those high school kids, and you got to look in that transfer portal and you bring those in. But to me, it's a detriment to your program when it comes to that. You know, until you get that security of knowing that, you know, I can form and I can develop these kids that coaches are going to keep hitting at the transfer portal.
You know, it's funny, Pup, because Neil Brown is still saying that he wants to go the developing route, meaning that he wants to high school kids and develop them. And I think the biggest thing about Neil Brown, besides maybe not carrying your swag, Puppy, is what you're saying, but I think he made a wrong choice in going with 2.5 years with Jared Deggy at quarterback. And I think that really put a lot of odds against him And the way, and plus he did some things for himself, game management and all that. But you can't survive nowadays if you're going to try to develop, can you? And you can't survive in Big 12 if you're just going to keep going for G5 guys.
But let me answer. Let me answer all that for you. The first thing, Neil Brown don't have no swag. Dion got swag. People want to go and play for Dion, right? Look how many kids transfer from Colorado. He told the people, hey, if you want to leave, go ahead and leave. It's okay. I will help you get somewhere. Okay? But look how many guys you said was in the portal. They're willing to go take a chance with Dion because guess what? He got swag. He got the coaches to go get the players to make sure a player want to go play for them. You know what I mean? I'm telling the truth, Wolf. You know what I'm saying? Neil Brown don't have no swag. He don't. You can tell.
Yeah, okay, I'm just waiting.
I'm keeping it real.
All right.
I mean, you know, this need to be live right now on ESPN. No swag, Neil Brown. It's the truth. You know what I mean? That's the truth. I mean, bro, listen, when I was in Miami Northwestern, I had Nick Saban come out there every year. All the head coaches come to the high school. Mm-hmm. I got to call West Virginia to talk to Laurie, the secretary, to try to get people to call me back, trying to get guys up there. Guys said, Coach, why nobody never come from West Virginia? You know how embarrassed that was to me?
Mm-hmm. Hey, Timmy, didn't you experience that same problem there in the Pittsburgh area too?
Hey, I was just about to say that, Wolf. It's crazy because we right here in this backyard, and we got some dogs, especially at my high school that I played at, and even actually we got a freshman this year who just got offered by Pitt. He's a freshman, and I see is any other offer? He said no, I was there right now. But if you got Pitt offering, they see him. And with my other school, I work at my Woodland Hills, so we got some dogs up, and I can't get a couple kids to even go down there for a visit. It's like I'm trying to. I finally called with Rasheed Marchiol, and he told me to contact another person. So it's like,
man, that's all you hear, man. That's all you hear.
They keep passing around. We got to contact so and so. You got to contact so and so. No, why don't y'all come in and see what we got? I mean, y'all letting these good talents go to elsewhere, and we're just stuck with nothing.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me say this, and in all fairness, Drew Fabianich is now the general manager for WVU. He is director of recruiting. Now, he's come in, guys, from the Dallas Texans, 18 years in the NFL. All right. West Virginia is now one of 10 schools that have hired a general manager to oversee the program, which includes going ahead and head of scouting. All right. So I believe that the scouting that was going on before is not certainly the same scouting that's now, and it's going to be much better. And you know what? I used to be a lot of the connections for WVU. People would call me, and I'd pass it along. I don't see that now because now they just have GAs in there in my position. So again, I think you got to call right there. That's for Drew Fabianich. Let me ask you, Barry, how many years you coached in high school out there?
Oh, I coached right around 15 years.
15 years. You know, Bill Kurlavich is not there in Eastern PA anymore, man. Who do you see in the years? You hear from West Virginia out there?
I mean, we had a couple guys, but not from like the Lancaster County area, but we do have some guys in the surrounding area. We had a running back that went down there from York. York High, I think he was a running back that went down to West Virginia, or he's going down to West Virginia, but you don't hear as much up here. My area up here, it's a more Penn State, everything else, a lot of Big Ten schools, and that you hear a lot about Penn State, Wisconsin, Michigan State, but you don't hear a lot about what's West Virginia, you know. But Calaveras was the last guy I think that came through this way that really recruited this area hard, you know, and it just tells you right there, like, we have the talent. If you come up and look at it, you just got to know, you got to look through some, look through some back doors, turn over some rocks. And there's guys out there that sometimes aren't always the number 5, 5'8", 5-star guy, but, you know, they're guys that are going to play for you and die for you.
Yeah, and that's the truth, man. And that's all of you guys. That's why I'm saying this. So, Tim, you're 19. I'm going to let you guys get going here. You're a 1993 captain, though. 11-0, as we said, 30 years. A lot of your experienced man now. what do you see in this culture of WVU, this football? Do you see at it being blue collar? Do you think it needs to improve? You know, do they have to have more swag, as Pup says? What do you see that this team needs to go ahead? Because we're at a crossroads now, fellas. WVU, I'm talking about. Listen, there's got to be the big two are separated, okay, and there's going to be greater separation amongst the Power Fives. And West Virginia, it cannot have this perception of being 14th in the Big 12 if it wants to hang with big boys. And the program can become maybe not irrelevant, but maybe semi-irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? What does this program need to do to maintain, to return to having that swagger that Puppy says, to go out there and recruit and say, hey, listen, we're not 14th in the Big 12. We're a team that's going to punch you right in the mouth, and we're going to be blue collar.
Well, like Puck said, Wolf, I mean, the swag is definitely not there. I mean, you can see that. But I think, and I'm going to throw the offensive side of the ball, just watching that Pitt game last week, we got talent on offense, okay? We got to use it. I mean, they got some big running backs, man. Pound the ball on the offensive side. Use that big tight end they got. They don't use him at all. And our defense, I can't stand that 3-3-5. That's just one thing I don't understand. Now, why they run a 3-3-5 and you're trying to beat somebody? There's way too many holes in that. And you're limited to your talent that you got on the defensive side. I mean, put the boys on the field that's going to run to the ball and make some plays. You know what I mean? That 3-3-5 is way too many holes, and you only got, your lineman is not what it should be. So, like, in order to be good, you got to go out there and recruit the big 5-star players or get in that transfer portal.
Yep, I agree. Hawk, my philosophy is this. Oklahoma last year was 11th in tackles for losses, okay, TFLs. They were 115th or 111th, I can't remember now, 115th in total running yards against average. 115, number 11 TFLs. So it's either they go TFL, get you to tackle for loss, or they give up big plays. 5 or more is what I say. That's because of the scheme. Now that they're doing these schemes, they're doing passing stunts in the running schemes. Would you, as a nose guard, would you please tell Mountaineer Nation right now, you can't do that against run schemes. You can't act like it's a passing. You can't pass it off. You create gaps, do you not? The zone, they catch you when you're moving.
Exactly. You hit it right on the head, man. It's just there's no gap integrity, man. There's just no smash mouth about it. You're trying to get your back end guys who can fly around to the ball and end up in those gaps. If they get cut off, now you got seams all over the place. With that backside pursuit, you get the cutback alleys, you get everything else. You're just out of position, So it just comes down to knowing your personnel. I'm a strong believer that you can do the 3-3, but at the same time, there's a place for it. But I'm like Tim. I'm old school. You got to put them four dogs down in that front line, and you got to stop the run. Period. You get to certain situational times where you're getting passing downs. You can probably go to that. To the 3-3 look. But you got to get them 4 down linemen. You got to have a gap integrity. You got to have the gap integrity and know where you're at and where your fits are, where your linebackers are fitting, and you need to stop the run. Period. Point blank.
Oh, hey, thank you so much, because I've been trying to tell everybody the gap integrity is missing in today's game. And they're trying.
Totally is.
They're trying to all these stunts. They're trying to be like kind of like the new offensive coordinator for the air raids. They're trying to be defensive coordinators. Like, hey, check out my stuff, man. And it's not working. All right, so Puppy, what's your thing, man? What does this team need to do in your mind to get that swag back? All right, to go ahead, have that blue-collar mentality back so that they can go out there and, you know what, go punk someone up, for lack of a better term.
Man, it's to me, I could go down the line. First thing they do to get the swag back, they need to try to invite the old alumni guys back. You know what I'm saying? Like, the 2 teams who went undefeated, get them back into the locker room. Talk to the kids. That's the first thing they need to do, get the swag back. You know what I mean? You look at other schools. You look at, even, once again, I don't want to keep saying, South Carolina, the Clemson, University of Miami, Colorado. Colorado got motherfuckers off the street. They didn't even play football on the sideline. It's the truth. I mean, hyping everybody up. You know what I mean? I mean, it's no swag there. I feel like I'm at a military school at Valley Forge watching West Virginia right now. Back in the day. That's how I feel. And then they try to run a 3-3-5. You got to have a hell of a nose to run a 3-3-5. That's what my point. You know what I'm saying? You need to go back with the 4-down linemen and have you some thumpers in there. We're going to stop the run. If you're going to beat us, you're going to have to beat us over top. That's the first thing. But it's easy for any quarterback, 3rd-3, 3rd-2. I could make a play call for 3rd-3 and 3rd-2. But it's hard when it's 3rd down and 8, 3rd and 9. Mm-hmm. Then you go back to a 3-3-5 if you want to.
No, all right, I hear you. And I'm just thinking of when we did do 3-3-5 back in the day. You know, we had a Keelan Dykes in there. We had a Chris Neal in there, and who could work two gaps. You know what I mean? That could work the two gaps. And I'll tell you what, though, what I miss is just when I showed you the film, hard-nosed defense, hard hitting, hard gap. Hey, guys with gap integrity and guys that understand what outside contain means. You know how many times you see 3rd downs get transferred into 1st downs is because they don't have outside contain because they're doing all this stupid stuff. And it's just the numbers are skewed on defense now. They're skewed. And it's not because of the offenses so much. It's because the defenses don't run the defenses that are solid anymore. And they skewed the numbers, and it's all a bunch of crap. Anyways, I'm done preaching myself. Hey, Tim Brown, James Puppy Wright, Barry Hawkins, man, I want to appreciate you guys. Thank you. Enjoy your 30-year reunion. Hopefully the Mountaineers get a win against Texas Tech. Hopefully they return some swag. You know, Pup, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go and make sure that Drew Fabianich understands that, you know, what you're saying. I'm going to just make sure that next time you call, he's going to take your phone call and, you know, tell him that he better. I think we have to try to start improving. I think this guy, Fabianich, really makes a difference. I really do. We'll see what happens. Only time will tell. All right? Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, Wolfman. Hey, I see you guys down. Hopefully I get to see you guys down there this week.
Yeah, I'll be down. Yeah.
All right, big boy. Yo. All right, big boy.
Yeah.
You know. Beautiful. All right. Well, there you have it, man. Woo! I'm telling you right now, you know, those are guys that are real, man. It doesn't get any straighter than realer than James Puppy Wright. I'm telling you, man. He's going to say it. Barry Hawkins. Hey, let me tell you, Hawk never messed around, man. That dude played hard all the time. You know Timmy Brown. You already know about it. I mean, these are guys at the 1993. This is why they went undefeated. I mean, I could just go down the list. I could go to the offensive side and tell you about your Brahms and your Dale Williams and your Rob Sox and all that. I mean, there's a reason why they went undefeated. There's a reason why they get mad when they don't see that type of swag when they look at the team now. And I'm saying swag, I'm saying a culture thing, I'm saying a meanness thing, I'm saying a lot of things. So again, that to me, that's what I'm seeing. And we'll go ahead and we're gonna move on here. But boy, how special was that? Sorry Mike Logan couldn't make it on. He's supposed to come on, but he was not able to. So let's go ahead and let's take a look here at the QR codes, and let's get this going right here. All right, so we look at the sports column right now, and seeing that's Frank Fear, and, you know, he's got the book there. Go ahead, QR code it, man. Sports column, Frank Fear, and you go ahead and write your own articles, man. Get published. There's a way to get published for free. And get yourself out there. So this is how you help turn yourself into that professional writer. Right there, sports column. Also, get the book, The Band of Brothers, The Then and Now, 66 through 70. Absolutely fantastic book. Great memories of these guys. Those memories that they have are really, in general, the same memories that you just heard from Puppy and from Big Hawk and from Timmy Brown, right, man? It's the same thing. It's the same mentality. And I keep talking about Mountaineer mentality. When I tell you guys there's no gap integrity, there's no gap integrity. I show it to you on the film, and I still have people saying, "Oh no, that's not true. That's not true." Why are these people making so much money? And they can say there's no gap. And how can you be a defensive coordinator and then say, "No gap. We don't live by gap integrity." Oh, that looks fine here, but when you actually move it and you start moving these pieces around, oh, but look at that TFL, man. Woo, that's pretty special. We're Oklahoma, you know. We're there. We're number 11 in TFLs, but you're 115 in total yards against in the rush. All right, and that's everywhere. That's not just WVU. That's not just Oklahoma. You know where it's not? It's not in Iowa. Kirk Ferentz, because he still plays with gap integrity for his defenses. I don't know if you knew that, but Kirk Ferentz does. All right, here he goes. I got off the sport. I'm going to the QR codes, and here we go. Let's see here. Pallet mini batteries, the last battery. Never buy AA batteries again. Why people do not go ahead and check these out, you will never buy, and they're affordable. I mean, they're not even like extra expensive than the alkaline batteries. I mean, again, the last battery, rechargeable batteries, QR code that, man, get it down, and then you have this here. United in purpose, bold in strength, united we stand. There you go, man, right there. Johnny Cantwell, offensive lineman. He's big on this. He wants WVU in West Virginia and everyone to be on the same page. Mountaineer Nation. Let's get on the same page so we all can be educated in the right way. You know, there's the company line, which, you know, usually is mostly good, I guess, if you will, because they're not here to hurt West Virginia or WVU. But then you got the idiot line. Well, the WolfMan's call. The WolfMan's call is right down the middle. It's where the truth is always part of the call. I tell you, there's no gap integrity. Believe it. And I show it to you. I don't know what else I could do. I want to pull my hair out. Gap integrity. Do things like I said. And you heard Timmy Brown. Let's work that tight end more. I'm telling you, this week, go to if I don't even care who's starting a quarterback. If it's Garrett, all right, Cole Taylor needs to become a household name in Mountaineer Nation and probably in the nation. All right, he's got talent at 6'7". He was at LSU, so you know he's got legit genes and potential because he ended up there at 6'7". Do you watch people try to tackle him when he's running? Those big legs, just strides, right? He's 6'7", and it's hard. And right now, he's probably, besides Clement, most dependable receiver the Mountaineers have. And, you know, I don't care what Pro Football Focus said. I watched that game film with him. He was at the point of attack. Even the announcers sat there, and I'm going to show you a game film today. But they went ahead, and, man, they just went right on down the line. And at point of attack every time. I mean, he got run. Cole Taylor did more running, I think, than the receivers did in that game. With all the pulling that they did in the run games, and then when he did go out for a pass, yeah, it was pretty wild there. So, and, you know, I'm going to tell you this, man. There's no doubt, and I forgot Cole Taylor, but oh my gosh, Dave's the other tight end, man. He had some really great crush blocks. I'm going to show you today. And here we go. It's just easier for a hemp dipper, Artisan Grange Company. Johnny Cahigas, Meg Cahigas, do it the AGC way. Get rid of the nicotine. Get rid of the tobacco. Go ahead and get on it. It's good stuff. I'm telling you, I give you all good stuff. The batteries are great. You know, get together united. The sports comb, you know, free publishing, Frankfurt, all that stuff. And then AGC. Get rid of tobacco, you dippers. All you nicotine guys. Oh, it was ridiculous. What do we got here? We see anyone's trying to get on here. Let's see, Mr. Wolfley, what do we got here? What does it say? Oh, well, thank you, Timothy. I appreciate that. And, you know, but that goes back into the whole thing. I mean, yeah, you say, yeah, cool, I feel that way. Well, that's why I feel like I do with all of my Mountaineer brothers. And that's why I talk to them. It's because you've come through this. And I think, unfortunately, since I have left, that they believe that they're not paying attention. I mean, the administration is not paying enough attention to the alumni. And I'm going to say this, is that maybe that was with my last days at WVU with Shane Lyons. But apparently, Ren Baker does care about the alumni. Ren Baker does care, and he wants to treat them right. So that's the word I've gotten. I've never met Ren Baker. I don't know. Seems like a nice guy. I think he's a classy guy. From what I've seen about him, what I've heard about him, through some good people that I trust. And again, like I always say, I have not agreed with every move he's made up to this point, but I have respect for him. That's for sure. So regardless of that, I think that he's going to go ahead and make his move. We're just going to wait here, and I might as well just go ahead and get going here for Don Williams. Now we're going to have Don Williams come on. He is going to tell us about Texas Tech, man. This guy, he works for the Avalanche-Journal, the Lubbock Avalanche-Journal. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. So, but before that, let's go ahead and get into some Nicco while we're waiting for him to come on, and we will do some breakdowns, huh? What do you say to that? I think I like that, and let's check it out right here. Because, as soon as I go ahead and do this and get this going, he's got to come on. Well, that's cool. Here we go. And we'll go do this. And right here. Okay, so now I showed this a little bit yesterday, and this is 2nd and 17. Now, Nicco just took a sack, and I thought it was not a good sack for him. He waited too long. Your offensive line can't block that long. But here, and he's got some guys here. You see the guy, 95, coming around, Doug Nestor. He's going out to beat him, and he's going to be here, and he's going to throw the ball here to Cole Taylor. Now, look at that one-handed catch. Again, I want to tell you, 10 targets right here. Cole Taylor, 10 targets, man. And let's go. You can't bring the guy down, but with 1 or 2 guys, I mean, you really have to have a solid hit and catch him. But it was 2nd and 17. Now, what is it, 3rd and 2? I mean, you got to like what he's giving you right here. And that is nothing but a play action off of what they've been doing all night and going ahead and sending in motion and pulling the 2 tight ends, or the 1 in this case. And I really like it. I think Nicco has got a chance if he goes first. If some are saying Garrett Green, I'll tell you what I'm going to say is that if Garrett Green starts, that he's the starter, he earned it, that's fine. He better be at 100%. Better be at 100%, because if he is not, and you heard Neil Brown say that the best thing about him is his legs. Well, if he can't use those legs, then there'll be real problems. But the word is, if he's ready to go and he's 100%, yeah, I get it. And if not, Nicco better be ready, and he better be getting the reps. He better be getting a lot of reps, because you can't tell me you're going on an ankle and you're saying, well, I know that he had to take reps in the first 2 days. So if he's today, that's good. But I'm telling you, you know what? There's a lot at stake. This is the beginning of the Big 12. Mountaineers just coming off a big emotional win. Let's say that. I'll call it an emotional win over the Pitt Panthers. Emotional for everybody. Good feelings. High fives all around. Good job. Now it's Big 12 time. Now it's trying to win your conference. Starting out with Texas Tech. 0-4 against. They're 1-2. Hopefully we're going to hear here real soon from Don Williams and talk about this Texas Tech team and get it going here. This is, again, is 3rd and 4 now. Looking at this, you see him going motion. Now, watch this good job here by Wyatt Milam. Coming on 3rd and 4 now. Watch Cole Taylor leading up through. That's a nice job by, you see the whole offensive line swiping down. All right, that's just nothing but really a counter with a tight end, kind of a zone scheme right there, blocking back, and it's not bad. Again, check it out, 3rd and 4. You can see this right here. The lineman the defender came up on Wyatt Milam at the last, so he's going to turn him out. Everybody else hooks. This is what I'm talking about with Barry. All right, this is no gap integrity. Let me show you this. All right, we'll see. Hopefully, we see the end zone shot, because I have to. Now look, watch the arrow. The announcers did it for me. Okay, here's your gap right here. You got A gap, you got B gap, And then you guys see, well, you're bringing this cat around over here, then this guy right here, you see this guy here? Okay, he needs to come out here and be outside his shoulders of Wyatt Mountain, right? That C. That's gap integrity. Right, now watch this. All right, there you go. Look at this. Look at this hole. That's how are you making money as a defensive coordinator, Pitt? When you're doing this, that's what you do in the passing game. But we'll get a tackle for loss here 1 out of 3 times. Well, the other 2 out of 3 times, you're giving this up. Oh, I hate it. As a former defensive coordinator, absolutely despise it. All right, it's 1st and 10. There you go. Nicco coming off. He hands the ball off. Nice job. Now watch right here, the tight end. I want to show you this, okay? Watch the route and trajectory of Cole Taylor, the tight end. He sees this here. There's nothing out there to do. What's he going to do? He's got to keep coming out. No, I was talking about the wrong one. That's my fault. All right, get your act together, Wolfley. There you go. Get it together. And you see this here. Okay, he's pulling. Not bad. The back cuts it up. Good job. They over pursue. You can see it. Jalen gets about 4 yards right there. Nice going there. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll stop it right here. And we got a special guest right now. Really excited about this. And folks, let me tell you something. Don Williams here, who works for the Lubbock Avalanche-Journal, all right, he has been covering the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Golly, I'm going to say they're almost 36 years. Am I correct, sir, Don Williams?
You are correct. Since started back in 1986 with the campus newspaper, and since 1988, it's the Lubbock Avalanche-Journal. So, been doing it for quite a while.
Well, I'm so happy to have you here. And let me ask you a question before we even get started. How's the restaurant, the Double Nickel, doing? Have you been there lately, or have you ever been there?
I have to confess, I have not. I don't think I've tried it before. Lubbock. I know at one time, I heard this that Lubbock had the most number of restaurants per capita of any city in the United States. I don't know if that is. If that's still the case, but we have about 250,000 people, and the restaurant and options to eat in our city seem almost unlimited. And so, I personally, I don't guess I can vouch for the Double Nickel, but I can tell you a whole lot of people do, and so I probably need to put it on my list to swing by.
Yeah, it was absolutely my favorite place to go in Lubbock. I've probably been there 4 times, I think, through my career. But anyways, always something to remember. How are you doing today, sir? You doing well? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing well. Thank you for the invitation, Bill.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so let's go ahead. Texas Tech, man. Joey McGuire's second year. He's 9-7 now, I think, overall. He's done a lot through high school. That he really built himself, and we're talking Texas high school, not normal high school, Texas high school. And what style coach is he? Who is he? What style is he?
Well, I guess maybe one of the comparisons that people make that I've seen, I think there's some validity to it, is a Dabo Swinney type for a couple of reasons. And we're not talking about win-loss record or anything like that, obviously, and won national championships, but a couple of reasons. One, Dabo, when he got the Clemson job, had not been a coordinator, and Joey, when he got the Texas Tech job, had not been a coordinator. Dabo Swinney, of course, is a big culture guy, and Joey McGuire at Texas Tech is a big culture guy. He's all about his Mr. Enthusiasm, seemingly has unlimited, boundless energy. I don't know when the man sleeps. As being in my 50s, like Joey is, I sure don't. I wish I had the energy that he has. But the big thing with him, I think one of the reasons why they hired him, is a strong connection with the Texas high school football coaching community. We're a big state. There's a ton of high school football talent here in this state. 300 or 400 kids a year go play college football out of Texas. Texas Tech over the last decade was not getting its share of those Texas high school football players, at least not the best ones, the top end talent. And one of the reasons why they hired Joey is he's so popular in the Texas high school coaching community. With his personality, they believe that would yield recruiting payoffs, bigger recruiting payoffs than Tech has been accustomed to lately. And we've seen that so far. I mean, one of the big stories in the past week or 10 days here is Tech landed a commitment from a 5-star wide receiver named Micah Hudson from Temple Lake Belton, Texas. I mean, that's right in Baylor's backyard. That's right up the highway from Austin and Longhorns territory. He's the kind of guy that, frankly, now his dad did play for Texas Tech, so there's a tie there. But he's the kind of guy that people think would not have signed with Texas Tech in most years. But but he had a strong connection with the Joey McGuire staff. He committed last week, I guess it was. And now you look at the national recruiting rankings, and Texas Tech is about 25th in the country, and that is a substantial leap from where they generally were during the Matt Wells, Cliff Kingsbury years. And so that's the whole strategy with Joey McGuire is Texas Tech really badly need to upgrade the talent. They believe Joey McGuire is the guy to do it.
I can see that, and I can see where that came from and what they're doing. What is his style? What is he? Offense, defense? What is he like to run? He seems to be a little bit more physical than Matt Wells or Cliff Kingsbury.
Well, that's the thing with Joey. Like I say, he was a head coach at Cedar Hill High School in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and as a position coach, he coached on both sides of the ball at Baylor during his time under Matt Rule. And so, he doesn't really have you don't really look at Joey McGuire and say he's an offensive guy or Joey McGuire's a defense guy. Joey's a head coach, and he's deferential to his coordinators. That was kind of the plan also when he got here. Is you're getting Joey McGuire for the recruiting guy he is, and for the excitement he brings to your program, and the way he connects with recruits, and the way he connects with players, the way he connects with fans. And I think the plan was when you hire him, then you need to hire really good, experienced coordinators. I got a good, experienced defense coordinator, and Tim DeRuiter has been a lot of places. He was a head coach at Fresno State, and then one of the young up and coming offensive coordinators in Zach Kitley. Zach's dad, of course, is the head track and field coach here, has been for 25 years. So there's family tie here. Zach grew up in Lubbock, went to Friendship High School, and then made a big reputation for himself at Houston Baptist and at Houston Baptist for a year or two, Western Kentucky for 2 years for his quarterback. At both places was Bailey Zappi. Bailey Zappi lit it up. And so, like I say, when you talk about Joey's style, Joey's more kind of the walk-around head coach versus the guy who has a hand in the defense or a hand in the offense. He wants his coordinators to do their job, and he'll handle the rest.
Well, he's a general commander, that's for sure. Hey, you know what? I was at numerous times been at Jones at AT&T Stadium. What's going on? $230 million investment. I see that, and there's a lot going into the program right now. Where is all this coming from, Don?
Well, Tech has a pretty well-heeled donor group of boosters. They've done really well in fundraising. Really over the last quarter century, or really in the time that Texas Tech has been in the Big 12. They started a project back in about 2013 or 14 called the Campaign for Fearless Champions. And under that umbrella, they had 25 sports projects, primarily facilities projects, and they've completed nearly all of those 25. And now, football, $230 million. It's not all $230 million cash in the bank. They have a little more than $100 million of that raised.
Okay.
And then I think they're going to pay for remainder with revenue bonds and, a lot of the revenue that they plan to get from all the suites and club seats that they're going to have in that football building. It's going to be on the south end of Jones AT&T Stadium. It's going to be 4 levels. It's going to have coaches' offices in it, locker rooms, and like I said, there's going to be a whole bunch of suites and club seats, and so it's going to give Jones Stadium yet another very different look, and it's also should make it even louder. I mean, Jones has a reputation for being a pretty rowdy place anyway when they have good teams, and now you're going to get the effect of that south end zone is going to be really, really bowled in. Again, when you're talking about a 4-story building on the south end, it's really going to further keep the sound in, and it's underway. They actually started it at the very immediately after the season ended last year, literally like the next day, and supposed to be fully complete in time for next season. So it's a 2-year project.
Okay. All right. Well, that's nice to hear because, as Mountaineer fans over here, we need to know what we're competing against. It's always the race, the facilities, the great economic race there in facilities building. Okay, so let's go ahead and break down this team that starts off. And I'm looking at the overall team here. I'm seeing an older team in Texas Tech. Neil Brown's 0-4 in his career against the Red Raiders. Obviously, we know his history with the Red Raiders. But what do you see here with this team starting on offense? And you're going to go probably with quarterback Tyler Schaub. But tell us about this offense and the style that they are.
Well, they've been pretty balanced so far, and used quite a few weapons. Run pass has been pretty close to equal. Top returning guy on offense, probably aside from Tyler Shuck, was Tosh Brooks, the running back. He ran for over 500 yards 2 years ago. He ran for nearly 700 yards last year. And just looking at my numbers before I jumped on here, he's on pace for 1,000 yards this year. 230-pound guy. He's a load and pretty and moves pretty well too. Couple receivers, Jerron Bradley's kind of the top guy in the receiving corps. Undersized slot receiver Miles Price, he's caught a touchdown pass in each of the first 3 games, and the tight ends have also caught a touchdown pass in each of the first 3 games. The last 2 of those, and the tight end really to keep an eye on, who's kind of made the most noise so far, is Mason Tharp. Giant guy. He's 6'9", 270 pounds. He can catch it, and like I say, he's caught a touchdown pass each of the last 2 weeks. People have been, when you have a guy who's 6'9", 270, and he plays a skill position, not surprisingly, people have clamored for his entire time he's been here. Why don't they throw it to the 6'9" guy more?
Right, yeah.
And then the subtleties of the things about route running and developing your body physically, where you've got body control and all those sorts of things. It's kind of been a process and taking them a while to get to this point. But the last couple of weeks, they've been throwing it to the 6'9" guy. And talking about quarterback, I mean, really the big story. Internally around Texas Tech with the fans, the last really since the season started, and all really go all the way back to last year, and that's who should be the quarterback. Because Tyler Shuck finished well last year as MVP of the Texas Bowl. He decided to come back. He's been okay, but not great so far. And so, as happens in those situations, majority of the fans really, I think, are clamoring for the young guy. Young guy being Baron Morton, who's a 3rd-year sophomore who has a lot of talent. He's quick, he's decisive. He plays with a lot of flair. He throws some funky arm angles, which remind people of Patrick Mahomes. And so when Tyler Shuck is not perfect or close to perfect, then there's a uproar for Baron Morton should be the quarterback, and that's really been dominated the Texas Tech football conversation around here for the last couple of weeks. And really, you can extend it all the way back to last year, because last year they had three viable quarterbacks. You not only had Shuck and Baron Morton, the two guys that we just talked about, but you also had Donovan Smith, who actually had more passing yards than either one of them last year. Donovan wound up third on the depth chart, and so he transferred as now quarterbacking at Houston. And so really it's been at least a 2-year conversation or a year plus conversation on who should be the quarterback, and different people have different takes, because there's not one guy, I think, who's clearly head and shoulders above the competition.
Okay, so when you look at that offensive line, what I've noticed is they're a much more physical offensive line than when Cliff Kingsbury or Matt Wells was there. And you said it was more balanced. Does that mean that the whole season you should expect them to be fairly balanced that way, and that old air raid is gone now?
Yeah, I really think so. I think the true air raid, the true Mike Leach air raid. How many coaches, how many teams still run that offense the way Mike Leach did, where it's throw it every down, have 60 pass attempts a game or 70. Use of your running backs is limited a lot of times to the screen game, with not a whole lot of pure traditional run style offense. And again, given the fact that with some uncertainty at quarterback, with the fact that you have an experienced running back who's had 2 good years back to back before this season, that the fact that you have several different options at receiver, but probably not really a big time number one receiver. I tend to think that the offense that the way they've run the offense the last 3 weeks is probably going to be pretty similar to how they continue to do it. And I'd also add in there too, and this is something to look for Saturday, but also every week, and that's that Tyler Shuck is a really viable runner. I mean, if you look at him in pregame warm-up, you see a 6'5", 230-pound guy, you think, okay, he's going to stand back there and throw it. He's only going to take off if he absolutely has to, but that's not the case. I mean, in the bowl game, he carried 25 times for 111 yards, and in game 2 against Oregon, he carried 23 for 101, I believe was the number, but that was misleading because you take away the sacks, and it was 19 rushes for 145 rushing yards. And I mean, he popped one very early in that game, 58 yards. And and that was against, like I said, that's against Oregon. That's against legit athletes on defense. And he went 58, it was 58 yards before somebody tracked him down. He's a guy who was very capable of getting 6, 7, 8 yards a pop, a mix of, a 12-yarder, a 15-yarder. The interesting thing about it, though, is there are some weeks where, you can kind of see, I think it's kind of game plan-wise, you can see some weeks where they feel like the defense is going to give quarterback run, or there are things that they could take advantage of in quarterback run. And you'll see Shuck with 15 or 20 rushing attempts. And then there's other weeks that he doesn't run it very much. Last week, Taj Brooks, the running back, had 19 carries, 158 yards. Both of those were career highs. But not telling Mountaineers defensive staff anything they don't know, because I know they're already game planning it. But they got to be very mindful of the QB run game when you're facing Tech.
Well, I will say this: Taj Brooks, I believe, is an NFL running back, so the Mountaineers better be ready to tackle, because he's pretty darn tough, and 6'5", 230. Quarterback is definitely an obstacle. I saw him run those runs. He is elusive. All right, so let's go ahead, Don. Let's flip it over. I count 9 seniors and 2 juniors, with a freshman, redshirt freshman, Ben Roberts, switching in and out. Is that true?
Defensive, here's the big off-season development for the Texas Tech defense is they had 5 guys who were seniors who started last year, who all used that COVID bonus year.
Okay.
Both your, so the defense is very, very experienced. Both your defensive tackles, Jalen Hutchings and Tony Bradford, are guys who have played here absolutely forever. One's a fifth year guy. They're a fifth year guy and a sixth year guy, and they've been playing since they were freshmen. Both of the starting cornerbacks, Malik Dunlap and Rashad Williams, senior guys on COVID years. Free safety, Dadrian Taylor Demerson, same thing. Returning starter, senior guy on a COVID year. This is year 5 for him, and he was making plays when he was a freshman for this team. So the defense is really experienced. The question about this team going into this season was they lost both of their starting inside linebackers. Both their starting inside linebackers' eligibility was up. Krishawn Merriweather, Kosai Elbridge, they were 1 and 2 on the team in tackles last year. So that was a big question mark at the end of last season. One of those positions, they moved one of their starters, who was kind of a boundary edge guy, Josiah Pierre, to one of those inside linebacker positions. He's piled up a bunch of tackles so far. And then the expectation was that the other starter, and the guy who was the other starter, was named Jacob Rodriguez, who really flashed as a backup last year, a young guy who actually transferred from the University of Virginia down here after his freshman year. He flashed a lot as a sophomore in the backup role, and they thought, okay, he's going to be a kind of a natural guy to elevate and promote. He will be one of those starters, and he was. And then in the first half of the season opener up at Wyoming, he suffered a sprained foot, and so he's down from 4 to 6 weeks. Won't get him back until sometime early and mid-October. But you alluded to it a moment ago. Ben Roberts is another kid who's a redshirt freshman, who coaches talk all about the time is talk all the time about, okay, if a key guy goes out and gets injured, then that's an opportunity for somebody else to step in and make plays. And Ben Roberts has been that somebody else who stepped in and made plays. I mean, his first career start in the Oregon game, he was credited with 12 tackles, a couple of tackles for loss, caused a fumble. They've really liked him and talked a lot about him last year when he was redshirting. Right. He was not a highly recruited player. He was a kid who played on a good 4A high school team, had good stats, but he was recruited by all the smart kid. He was recruited by all the service academies and some other not big time blue blood programs. Comes here, like I say, they've been talking kind of quietly behind the scenes that he did good things last year when he was redshirting, and he's shown it so far. Almost immediately, as soon as he got the opportunity to step into a big role, he took advantage of it. So
he looks like a baller. He really does. He looks like a baller. Let me ask you this, and then we'll finish up here. But I'm looking at 6'3", 215 Rashad Williams, and then I'm looking at 6'3", 220 Malik Dunlap. Have you seen corners this big in the Big 12 other than those two? I mean, for a pair seniors, they can run too. They can go man coverage. How do you see West Virginia you could have Garrett Green in there, you could have Nicco Marchiol, whatever it might be, but you're looking at guys that you better stop the run game against West Virginia. How do you see this Texas Tech defense attacking WVU?
Well, I think you said what Joey McGuire said. What came out of his Monday press conference. It seems like some of the first words out of his mouth were how West Virginia's ability to run the ball, their willingness to run the ball, the priorities that they put on it, and he feels like they have good talented running backs. So that's kind of that is, I think, their priority. Priority number one is being able to contain the run. So it'll be a good challenge for the guys I was just talking about, those linebackers like Josiah Pierre, who's the more experienced guy, and Ben Roberts, the young guy, being tested again. One of the other angles to Texas Tech's defense that I hadn't touched on is the big loss personnel wise, even more so than those linebackers, was Tyree Wilson, who was their massive, talented edge guy.
Yes.
6'6", 270 pounds. And he was he had two really good years back to back in 2021 and 2022, and then the Las Vegas Raiders drafted him number 7 overall. So he was a big loss, and they were hoping to fill his position and his productivity as a pass rusher with a transfer from Syracuse named Steve Linton, who's much smaller. He's 6'4", 235, and the other guy who actually plays the position that Tyree Wilson played, that field defensive end, Miles Cole, who had a good bowl game in the Texas Bowl against Ole Miss. Those guys have been pretty quiet so far, and it's caused some consternation among Texas Tech fans, in particular in the case of Steve Linton, because he's a guy that they really talked up to an extreme degree when he transferred here. He only had 4.5 sacks in 29 career games at Syracuse. The Tech coaches said, well, he played inside. He played a lot of 4 technique, some 3 technique, and even some 2 technique at Syracuse. And they felt like he was playing out of position, and if they put him, out on the edge, that his athletic ability would really reveal that he was a big-time pass rusher. But we haven't really seen that yet, honestly. And part of it's because he's been injured. He suffered a broken thumb in camp, and so he's played with that, kind of wrapped and maybe soft casted and that sort of thing, which obviously inhibits your ability to use your hands the way you want to in rushing the passer and going against tackles and tight ends. But he's been quiet so far. Now Cole kind of broke out last year, Miles Cole kind of broke out last week. He had 2 sacks against Tarleton State. He's a guy who actually looks a lot like Tyree Wilson because he's even bigger than Wilson was. This guy is 6'6" and 285. But again, he's a 6th-year guy, and his track record doesn't show. He's never really been a big-time pass rusher. But they believe with coaching and whatnot, they can kind of develop him in that regard a little more.
Well, I'll tell you what's fascinating to me, Don. I see about this roster. It is an older roster to me for sure, but they really are Big 12 size players. I'm not sure I always saw Big 12 players that are for a full team at Texas Tech. I can only go back to Cliff Kingsbury, but it sure seems like Joey McGuire's putting those players in there now.
Yeah, and like I say, that was. If you want to know why Texas Tech kind of struggled for the last 10 years, they were okay teams, but they were not in position to compete for any kind of championships. They were, generally around that 6-6 mark. And I say 6-6. Heck, they had a stretch of 5 losing seasons in 6 years where they were more, 5-7, 4-8. And that was really, I think, the reason why was because the talent level just was not there, had dropped off. And again, that's the whole reason. The big reason they hired Joey McGuire is they believe that he can upgrade the talents here, particularly through the Texas high school ranks. And he's made that a point that, yes, he will target recruit in the transfer portal if there's kind of a void at a particular position. But overwhelmingly, he says his recruiting strategy is sign 25 Texas high school football players a year, and he'd be real happy to do that.
Well, I bet he would be. I bet you anybody would be, Don. Well, listen, man. Hey, thanks so much. I think I got the good picture. I think you got a great picture for everybody. This team looks for real on film. It looks for real. Tough games. Losing to Wyoming in overtime, and then losing to Oregon when they're leading, I believe, in the fourth quarter. You guys were. So, how do you see it coming out? How do you see it playing out? Last question.
I'm one of those guys that I think you probably anytime you go on the road in the Big 12, particularly if you're going to a place like Lubbock or if you're going to a place like Morgantown, it's not easy to win. And I think there's kind of there's surprise down here in Lubbock, among Texas Tech fans when they see the line and Texas Tech favored by 6, going surprised that it's that big. I mean, now granted, a lot of these guys are the same players who were played here last year, and it was 48-10. But I remember on some trips to Morgantown. One of those years was it the last time Texas Tech was there 2 years ago, where they won on the field goal at the end?
Yes.
Yeah, everybody kicked the field goal at the end to win it 23-20. And so I tend to think it's going to be a close game again. I guess I'll pick Texas Tech, but it's the kind of game where I think it's kind of whichever team plays best, because I don't know that either team has a real decided huge advantage in talent and can just go impose its will on the other. And so I'll take Tech, but I don't see it as a game it's going to be easy for Tech to win.
All right. Hey, Don, thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. Are you coming to town this weekend?
I am, and very much looking forward to it. I'm a traditionalist who loved the Southwest Conference and loved those regional rivalries, much like West Virginia and Pitt. I'm glad to see West Virginia and Pitt playing again. So I've always kind of been anti take teams from halfway across the country in realignment, but I'll make an exception with West Virginia, because I just love my trips up there and what beautiful country it is, and also all the interactions that I've had with the people in West Virginia have been very positive. They remind me a lot of the people down here. I think the people and the cultures have a whole lot in common. So I'm very looking forward to another trip to Montana Pushkar Stadium.
Yeah, right on. And I will say it about Lubbock as well. I think they're perfect Big 12 schools or towns, because they care all about their teams and all sports too. All the sports. I mean, they're really supported. So I know there's a lot going on in Lubbock. I know there's a lot happening. Texas Tech, man. So best wishes, Don. Thank you. Safe travels up here.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate the invitation and enjoyed the visit.
All right, me too. Thank you so much. God bless. All right, hey, Don Williams, the Lubbock Avalanche-Journal. Yes, almost 36 years. Man, that amazes me. Can you imagine how much football he has gone through at Texas Tech, the history? I mean, you're not talking about, you're going back before Mike Leach now. This is going way back there. And the history that they have there, going to Jones A&T Stadium, absolutely fantastic. They throw out the tortillas, out there. I remember that. Throw out the tortillas. Patrick Mahomes never beat the Mountaineers, but Neil Brown's, as head coach at WVU, has never beaten the Texas Tech Red Raiders. So we'll see what happens with that. I'll tell you, that was cool. Getting that information right from a guy who's the beat writer for 36 years, he knows Joey McGuire, he knows Texas Tech, he understands the culture, he understands why they win, why they lose. Joey McGuire. Watch out, Mountaineers. This guy is going to be something special. I don't care if they are 1-2. I think that Texas Tech is really, just like he's talking about, bringing in that 5-star recruit to Texas Tech. They're making moves. So West Virginia, you're going to have to keep going on there. I really appreciate Don Williams doing that. Fantastic that he did that and came in for you, for me, and for you to give us knowledge. Tell me you're not already prepared. Now, remember, we're going to go ahead and we're going to have the breakdown on Friday, the Wolfman breakdown. It's the Mark Plants and Kevin Davis law firm legal teams game day breakdown, but it's not game day. It's the day before. Always sponsored by our top sponsor. That would be Parmar Stores. And let's go right to Abby right now at Parmar Stores and let her tell you all about it. Name, image, likeness. We thank Parmar for.
Hi, I'm Abby Pearson from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and when I'm back home, you will find me at my local Parmar store.
We have that gold and blue pride at your local Parmar store. We are coming to your neighborhood soon. West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Maryland, we have you covered. Download the Parmar app and sign up for the Parmar Rewards Card. Food, gas, groceries, and more. We are Gold and Blue proud, and we are Parmar stores.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
All righty. Well, thank you very much, Abby. And let's go ahead and see if we can't go right back to where we left off with Nicco Marchiol. Now, there's some people talking that Garrett Green is going to go ahead and be the starter this week. Hey, you know what? If he's ready to go, we're going to support him. We're going to support him. And if Nicco has to go, then we're going to go ahead and support him. I will tell you this, though, and I will say this, is that I think when you watch Nicco here, he's not doing everything right, but he also had 25% of reps. He's a red shirt freshman. But let me tell you something. Let me let you know a secret. What you need to do is you need to look at what he's got. Does he got the brains? Yes. All right. Does he got the footwork? Yes. Does he got the cannon? I mean, yes. Not only a cannon, is it a quick release cannon? And is it a big wind-up cannon? No, it's a quick release. He's got that intermediate throwing. He stands in the pocket. He stood in the pocket too long. I just showed you a play where he stood in the pocket too long. But he's got to learn. And he had 25% of the reps. And so if Garrett's out there, fine, but Garrett better be 100%. I'll tell you that, because this Texas Tech team gave Oregon, and they probably some think that Texas Tech should have won that game. And how they lost to Wyoming, I don't know, up there in the air up there, Heights, was it overtime? Not sure. But I do know this Texas team, looking at this roster, and I just said it, this roster, I'm going down the line here, and I see senior, 3 letters, senior 2 letters, and I'm seeing senior 3 letters, senior 3 letters, and that was just on the offensive line right there, and another, let's see, senior 3 letters. I mean, it just keeps going on and on. This is the team that beat them 48-10. So you got your hands full there, and I will tell you this, Jordan Leslie, I would say, you know what, I would love to help you, man. Just tell you is that you get your gap integrity going. Get your gap integrity. RPO with Marchiol and gap integrity. And keep playing those special teams like you're doing, because you're doing real, real good. All right, let's jump on it, man. Let's get this after Nicco here. Get it done. What do we got? Where are we at here? Okay, he's going to run up. We'll move on to the next play right here. Let's see what we got. Right there. Oh, did you see that, though? Did you see how the tight end's going in? He's going in. So all that time they had going cross formation, but now here he does what? He goes and he splits it, goes back, acts like he's going cross formation, and does not. And let's look at Zach Frazier right here. When you see this here, you see the left guard, Thomas Remock. Tomas, I love saying that name. Watch that. He said they had 14 knockdowns. Oh, there's one of them. There's a knockdown. Good job, Zach Frazier. You see that? Pretty nice. Oh, there you go. You get to watch it. Look at 54. Oh, man, he's just using that. That's all wrestling right there, man. Right there. Good job, ZF. Best center in the nation. Keep saying it every day when he does the commercial to get out. Best center in the nation. All right, here we go. You got 3-by-1 here into the boundaries. He going to go in motion maybe. He's going to start out. Nope, he's not. So you got a pass coming up here. And, well, this is the RPO right here. And I think this is a fantastic throw. Watch this throw. I did this yesterday, so I'm going to just keep going here and just let it go. Cole Taylor, keep your head up, buddy, right there on that offensive line. Not bad protection. But watch right here. You see with Nicco just firing it off on a thread right there. Yeah, nice job. Nice job. Look at this. Look at the line. RPO. You do it once, you can do it twice, you can do it more than twice. All right? Do that. Make the right decision. Marchiol. RPO. I actually love this right here. Good blocking by everybody. And it's a big play. Big play. Now, look at this. You got Trips Bunch here. Trips Bunch. And what do they got? What's going to happen? Oh, they're going to pull here. Zach Frazier comes around. Cole Taylor gets in there. Not getting much here, man. Not getting much. What's Nicco doing here? Is this a read or is this not a read here? Let's take a look. Go ahead. Keep it going. There you go. Ooh. I don't know because you could have had a triple. You could have had up here. He had another option up here with a screen. All right, so not sure if that was there. Oh, and I'm sure about this one. You don't want that. Don't want that. In the red zone, no, man, you just lost points. Minimum of 3, maximum of 7, maybe 8. And, come on, Nicco, you're better than that. Don't let that happen. Don't let it happen. And I touched on this before. You got a point there, offense. Got a point. Now, this is cool here because right the last time he was down here, he fumbles. So now he takes it, washes it all off his shoulders, and what does he do? Get that touch. 10 touches for Cole Taylor. Household name. I don't care if it's Garrett Green or Nicco. If it's Nicco, even more, though. Let him be his best friend. Let a guy like Cole Taylor help out your young quarterback. Focus on him. Set up plays that are designed to be easy and go to him. Just like we see here. This is not hard. This is just, hey, we're going to run this. We set it up. Because what did he do? All game, and this is what? The second quarter. So all quarter and 10 minutes, he's been doing what? He's been pulling and blocking for the running. And now he doesn't block. He goes out for the pass, and Braham down there, Cortez is making downfield blocking. That's what you need. What right here, Preston Fox, are you blocking down there? Attack of Preston. There you go. Get him. All right, he gets a piece. Maybe it helps a little bit. Maybe he can do a little bit better, Preston Fox. Attack more and know if it's going to go outside, right? Got to feel like you got to meet that defender where the ball is going to be. I see it. I see it as a big deal now. Watching Cole Taylor right there, man, right? Again, this is how you set up the pass. Now he's been running, and right there, look at the line. It really looks poetic and graceful right here. Okay, again, now, it's a total setup. He's gone. They're expecting Cole Taylor. That's what I was talking about. It's so beautiful. That's beautiful football. It's poetry, man, in motion, right? Oh, I love it, man. They sucked down because they were expecting to get hit and again just jacked up. Oh, look at this right here. Oh, coming off the ball. Woo! I like it. This is an offense that came off the ball. Look at Dougie Nestor right there. Look at that. He took a twofer. He took 2 right there. That was pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. There you go. What do we see here? Another handoff. Boy, CJ's just getting warmed up. I don't think he likes Pitt. He's from what, Miami? Florida? I don't think he likes Pitt very much because this is where he seems to kind of really excel. I like the blocking. Look at that, the whole blocking there, pushing. Fire it up, man. Fire it up. Oh, yeah, get in there. Excellent. Okay, now go to motion. There you go. Oh, look at my man. Look at my man right here. My goodness. Traylon, man. Boy, this is called a pancake. This is not a knockdown. This is a pancake. You see anyone here? Traylon, yeah, you got it. There you go. Come on, big man. Look at this. Oh! If that doesn't fire you up, what does? This is Pitt. This is the backyard. This is the backyard brawl, baby. Woo! Look at that. Oh, he's at his camp. And then Cole Taylor comes around. Oh, man, just keep blocking there, man. Yeah, keep blocking there. That could have been a home run for CJ. Look at this. Again. Oh, he does. Number 6, you don't know what the backyard brawl means. Because if you did, you wouldn't be going on your can like that unless, well, maybe TD, Trey Davis, maybe he knows exactly what the backyard brawl is. Yes, I love it. I love when Mountaineers take the Pitt Panthers and dump them right on their can. We'll watch it again because that is that cool. There you go. Look at it. Oh. There you go. He's a grunt. I love grunts. He's a grunt. There we go. Look at this. More blocking out here coming up. All right. Well, that's got to get more yards than this here. I'll tell you, it's a short yardage situation. Oh, gotta do better than that right there. But like this. Okay, now, let me tell you this. Remember that first fourth down? Remember that? I'm trying to realize shotgun. Look at Nicco here. This is what you do. I got the baddest offense. You said I got the baddest offensive line and some bad tight ends to go with it, right? I even got a freshman receiver who thinks he's a bad dude. That's coming to Clement, who thinks he's tough now, right? He thinks he's tough. So everybody thinks they're real tough. Don't go in the shotgun. Get underneath the center quarterback exchange. You got the baddest offensive line. Why would you do it? And you hand it off here. Go. Straight ahead, man. Straight ahead. There you go. How about this, man? The same thing. You got the baddest off. All that is right there was just blocking down. And nothing to do. Give me straight ahead. Give me power. You got the baddest offensive line. You've been kicking their can all night. And you know what? You need to just go right at it. But you got to get a push. You see that there was no push there. And these guys had a great game. I want to see better. What's this? Oh, now we got 4th and short. What's going to happen here, right? What's going to happen to get Nicco? Go shotgun. No. He's 6'1", 231, right? He's not even going to RPO this baby. He's saying, I'm coming at you because I got Zach Frazier and crew coming straight at me. This is what I'm talking about here. Yeah, give me more of this. There you go. You saw a push there, right? You saw the push. You see the referee right there. I'm going to let it run, but we'll go a little bit slower here. Zach, get down, young bucks. Get down and dirty. That's getting down and dirty right there now. That reminds me back in my day or, years around me, but you see how low they are. Yeah, get lower. Low man wins. First down, baby. All right, coming up there. Oh, all right, so check this out. This is a corner blitz, all right? There's a lot of room right here. I think if there's got to be better communication with the receiver to know this and Nicco to see this, it happens on the move. But watch this right here, all right? He's starting to come in right there. I think Nicco is looking at that picture, but look at number 3, the safety here. Man, these guys got to have some kind of communication here. Just pull down a 5. Just do a 5-yard hitch. That's all you got to do right there, and you'll get positive yards. This is 1st and 10. This is not a situation where you have to get the first down. All right, so I'm saying is I would like it, instead of going way long, recognize it. Settle down. Sit it down. Have some communication there, right? If you can. If you got anything pre-snap, settle down. And something to be worked on. That's what happens when you don't have 25 reps, and then all of a sudden, there you go, sack. All right, I think that's going to happen. Look at it. They're bringing, 6, maybe 7. I can't, 6 anyways. And they brought the corner with it and brought the extra man. You'll see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they brought 6. Okay, so that's meaning that they're man over there. And if he could have gotten rid of that ball, I think that would have been a cool read. I think you learned that in time. And, the running back here taking the outside guy, I would have actually liked to see him take the inside guy because inside, it's a shorter path. So I'm not sure what they're teaching him. When you have 2, I'm taking the inside guy. Shortest route to the quarterback is the inside. Outside, you got to what? You got to hump it a little bit. You got to do an extra hump. Hump day. There you go. Right out there, and he gets the hump, all right. He gets the hump on Nicco and makes the sack. All right, what do we got here? Oh, I like to now. This is a penalty, but watch his footwork. Darn it. Okay, so we're going to show this here. Going to watch what the corner does. And I got to be honest with you, he really doesn't do too much. Clement there, either he's a great actor or he's just off balance. That's very interesting. Narduzzi. Hey, you know what you love seeing? His pet Narduzzi. Mad. Mad. All right. I love seeing him mad because he's usually got just a smirk on his face with a grin. I don't like it. Don't like it. I think he's a good coach, though. All right, again, see the circle? But I like to see him angry. I like to see him. Again, I think they got away with one here. But Nicco, I want to say is watch him wind up the ball. Watch him throw the ball. What do we got going on here? A run play. Again, did you notice the tight end, TD, right? He's coming out. Again, they were going across formation and motion, right? But then they were also doing what? They were going ahead and coming back with the tight end. So he starts out like he's doing that. It's just misdirection. It's good stuff. I got to give kudos there. Brown, Chad, all that right there. Check it out. So you got the linemen pulling against each other. The left guard is pulling, Big Tomas, and then you got TD there right there pulling. And guess what? Nice job. Nice job. 5 yards. Can't beat it. Can't beat it, man. And I guess we're watching the same play one more time. I was so impressed with that. Look at Doug Nestor making the big holes. Driving down. He's 4 yards downfield. That's something to be noted. Something to be noted. And here you see the play come stretching out. I like this. You know why I like this? Because a lot of times they're really putting in and attacking and keeping 7 guys around the line of scrimmage. And here you see 6 with this cat out here. He's a little bit of tweener, but I see what they're doing with that. But I like this. Go in motion with Cole Taylor going across. Now he's not coming back. You see everybody is stretch. So they're stretching it out, right? It's an outside zone, stretching it out. And then what happens underneath? You see the running back cut it up. And at CJ, he cuts it up there. He sees an opening. Look at that. They're all stretched. Now watch the separation. Check it out. Nice and big. Look at Tomas up there. Oh, get more, man. I thought he was going to drill him there. He got to get more of that. But still, you're getting 10 yards, so I'm not going to put a minus on that for a remock. No way. But I want to see it because you could get a minus, or you get 0 or plus, or you can get a plus. And when he goes out there, he could have gotten a plus on hitting on that. Right? So here you go. Check it out. Oh yeah, RPO. Well, Marchiol. Look at that. Check it out. All right. See what he's seeing here. What are you looking at? What are you looking at right here? What are you seeing? All right. You got 1, 2, 3. You got 7 guys right here really trying to play the box. You got trips here into the boundary, right? 1, 2, and 3 trips to the boundary. Okay. And coming up, he sucks it up. He sees it. You saw him do the play the last time. You got Clement there making the catch. I think this young man, I think he thinks he's a stud man. Stud man. Let's watch it. That is some beautiful. Look at the accuracy. Look at the accuracy. He's tall. He stays in the pocket. He plants his feet. I like his accuracy. I like it. Did you see how fast he threw the ball? How fast? Effortlessly. Did you notice that? It was effortlessly. All right. I'm telling you, he's got big-time quarterback mechanics. Big time. Tell you what, he could go in my foxhole any day. I saw that high school game film. Anyone can do that? Yeah, I got you. I see. I like the fight. I like it. There you go. Let's get you ready, man, for Texas Tech. Let's get you ready here, Nicco. There you go. You're running up there. You're pointing. Probably don't know what you're doing, but who cares? You're running. You're excited. You're pointing. Let's go. You're directing traffic. A good handoff here, but what could you done? Is that a good handoff? Yeah, that's a good handoff right there. And again, he's coming out. I like it. Good choice. Good decision. I think that's an automatic right there, but that's all right. I like the play call. Again, watch the blocking right here. Nice job. Push out. There you go, Cole Taylor. There you go, CJ. Rocking right on through. All right. It's Purdy. Look at TD right there. Nice job, TD. There you go. Oh, I'll tell you what. I really like that run scheme. They were putting 7 in the box, up tight to the line of scrimmage. They were doing the outside zone tight end, pulling all that good stuff right there, man. I totally dug it. I really did. Doing some split zone action. And right there, that's nothing more than a split zone right here. And he's got to get down to the 1 yard line. Fight. Keep fighting, boys. Check this out. All right, Frazier, you see him pointing the mic backer right there. And let's go. Get that push. Get the push. Oh, look at Big Thomas Reebok. Do you see? You see him chopping his, did you see him chop those feet? I want to see him just a little bit lower and a little bit flatter back. Look at our big guy right here, man. So proud of this young man. He's really turned into a fine. Watch the left guard here. Watch this here. Watch him chop. It's coming off. It's full on, man. It's full on. Oh, look at the feet. Move your feet there, young offensive lineman. You see Big Thomas Reebok? You see that? He's moving his feet. Yeah, man. Let's see what goes on here. Oh, all right. That's, you know what? That's running hard. That's a CJ run right there because I don't see a great push there by the offensive line, but I don't see a great push, but I see a running back getting through the gap. Very nice. Very, very nice. Keep it running. I think you got to open it up. You got to let Nicco go with his RPOs, man. Got to do it. And boy, I would have liked to see Nicco keep this ball right here. Like to see this. Look over. Look at the box right here. There's 7 tight in the box. Hit the outside, man. Hit the outside. But you know what that is? That's being able to get 3 yards with the numbers being what they are. That's what you want. When you can run and say we're running the ball and into numbers and you can still do it, yeah, that's impressive. That's impressive. Again, man, I would like to see you just go ahead and keep that. Oh, where would you be? I think you're going to see, get to the game on Saturday, I think you're going to see him pulling some balls down. I really do. There you go, man. Get up there, keep driving. All right, penalty. And I think we're good. What else I want to get at here? Was there anything else I wanted to show? I think here, let's do this. Yep, just handing off. Okay. All righty. Let's go ahead and bring it on down. Let's get it over here. Cut that out. And bring it on in. All right. Listen, if you didn't like that show, I don't know, man. I don't know. A lot of times it does. He said it's Esther Wolfley Randall. The swagger necessarily equate with success. Yeah, because tell you what, if you're getting your can beat there, mother, right, you're not walking around with swag. You're not going with swagger. You're going down, your head is down. So it does equate. It does correlate. Because if you're getting your can beat, you're not walking with swag, Mom. You know that. Do better next time, Mother. All right, here we go. With that being said, let's blow this up. Oh, yes, my favorite time. You know what time it is. That's right. It's network time. Starting off with Cantrell's River City Grill and Pub in Hinton, West Virginia, down on the river. Fantastic. I see other seafood, great food options. Hinton, West Virginia. Calacino's Pizzeria Sports Bar in Beckley, West Virginia. Yeah, man. Great za. It's great za. How about this? How about going up to Weirton, West Virginia, right there in the border, right there, Route 22 Sports Bar. I know it must have been crazy up there watching the Steelers game, watching the Mountaineers on Saturday night against Pitt Panthers. 12 50-inch TVs combined, and looking at that, and you got the bottoms up, all that good stuff, man. Route 22, right there in the border. And then you got Archies there in Pittsburgh, right? Right in the heart of the evil empire on East Carson Street. Yeah, man, Mountaineers, great wings. Love going there when you go to a Steelers game. That's for sure. And then you go Legends Sports Bar and Grill. Aaron Gizzy, Cheat Lake, Lakeview. Still got time to hit those links. Get out there. It's still nice. It's coming. The bad weather's coming, but it's nice right now. Get out to Lakeview. Danny's down there in Princeton, West Virginia. What's up, Paige? Hope everybody's doing good. Great loyal Mountaineer fans, great foods, great specials. Kegler Sports Bar and Grill. Don't forget, you got Bruce Irvin coming in this weekend on Friday from 6 to 8. The Dale Sparks collection. You can go ahead and get the pictures that Dale has for you, or you can go ahead and, of course, bring your own item in for $25 and get Bruce to sign it. You have the Jar Restaurant in Morgantown and Hotspot, I should say, just taking over there for the Mason Jar. So Steve Reese. So Steve Reese, he's got that, and the Mason Jar Barbecue and more in Fairmont. What's up, Steve? Man, I saw those butts, and I saw all the slabs of beef. What are they, brisket? I think that's what it was. Then you got the Pallet down there in Scott Depot, Taze Valley. Haley, how you doing? What's up, everybody down there? Enjoyed the pregame. Still remembering that. And then, of course, you got Jimbo's place, Jimmy Pointer. You're there in Elkins and Buckhannon. So nice you did it twice. Pitched Sports Bar and Grill down in Dunbar, West Virginia, right next to West Virginia State. Beautiful place. Get to see some really cool fields out there in athletics. Enjoy your food while you're doing it and be able to enjoy some youth athletics as well. And great. Oh, also the pitch, incredible, like prime ribs, all that stuff, right? Tap House, Mel, there, right there on Oakland Street, right in the heart of all the students there. The Mountaineer Tap House, amazing. A lot of craft beers, a lot of good food, man. Just incredible burgers and stuff. Brickside Bar and Grill. Rob Davis, you got to eat local, 30 beers on tap. You never go wrong in Bridgeport at the Brickside Bar and Grill. Is there anyone I forgot? I don't think so. I think I got them all, and so happy to have you all part of the WolfMan's Call Network. Let's not forget, folks. Let's not forget. I'm going to go ahead. I got so excited with the 93 guys coming on that I wanted to go ahead and let's get this up here because it's going to be important. And it's important to me. And we get this up. All right. YouTube channel. It's the WolfMan's Call YouTube channel. You just got to go to YouTube, go into the search bar, and you hit @Wolfley64 for WolfMan's Call. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. We're getting the WolfMan's channel going. There's a lot of things coming up on the WolfMan's Call. A lot of good things happening. And the platform is growing. And we got some things that I'll be able to announce here in the next week or so. But I'm really excited. And this here is the YouTube channel. Going right to it at Wolfley64. WolfMan's Call, but at Wolfley64. We'll get, or at 3 Wolves. And that's the 3 Wolves. I'm showing on both YouTube channels. You can do it either or. But I'd like you to go ahead and sign up here to the WolfMan's Call and go ahead and subscribe and like that. A lot of good things. What else we got? I know I got a couple other things I wanted to get at before I leave. And that is, what's the last one here? Let me see. Okay, let's see. No, I had the Dale Sparks collection. I already talked about that. Okay, I guess we're just going to go right here to our closing, and that is, the best center in the country. Y'all have a great day. We're going to have some special guests tomorrow. It's Thursday. Tony Altimore is coming on. Yeah, man, we got to love that. You know what he's going to bring here and talking about college and the Pac-12 and all the news that's going on. We'll throw him some good, cool questions and good conversation. And expecting some Mountaineers on there tomorrow as well. And we'll have some more fun. Maybe do a little bit of defensive breakdown there from the pit game. Just show you who's kicking it on D a little bit. And then Friday, of course, at 4 o'clock is the Plants and Davis legal first line of defense game day breakdown the day before the game. Always sponsored by Palmer Stores, Buzzballs, and Artisan Grange Company, and all these fine people right here.
Hi, I'm Zach Frazier from Fairmont. When I'm back home, you'll find me at my local Palmer store.
We have that gold and blue pride at your local Parmar store. We are coming to your neighborhood soon. West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Maryland, we have you covered. Download the Parmar app and sign up for the Parmar Rewards Card. Food, gas, groceries, and more, we are gold and blue proud, and we are Parmar stores.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
Buzzballs, ready-to-drink cocktails. #1 single-serve premix brand in the U.S. Buzzballs, have a ball. Stationers, #1 office supplier in West Virginia. Always in stock. How many? The anywhere, anytime chargers, powering a connected world. Never buy AA batteries again. Rechargeable 500 times plus. Paul Mini AA USB lithium battery, as easy to charge as your cell phone. Sustainable energy. Stay charged. Go green, save green. Feel the power of Paul. Order now at paulmini.com.
West Virginia United.